Hello, everybody, and thank you for being with us tonight. This is Jordan McKee.
And this is Kyle Hill.
And today we are going to be talking to you about using Google Ads to get online leads. So I guess to get started, there's a lot of people, and we've been addressed a lot of questions, a lot of concerns, a lot of curiosity really about people wanting to grow doTERRA from their home and wanting to be a part of such an amazing company and wanting to bring great products to their friends and to their family without seeming like a multi-level marketer really. And that's, I guess that's because they don't quite understand how to multi-level market face to face, and they just don't want to come off pushy. And so we're hoping that tonight we can teach you a few skills on how to get leads online, how to build your warm market with people that you may have never met before or may have never met otherwise, and really want to introduce some skills and some topics that can help you be successful online.
And so the overview for this webinar, we're going to be talking about the overall strategy and what we're trying to accomplish when creating these Google Ads. A huge feature and benefit in growing a doTERRA business and any business in general is having an email list, a way that you can come in contact not only with your own team, but with potential clients as well. And then we're going to be going over landing pages, lead pages, squeeze pages. These are all the same thing, and we'll explain the benefit of them, as well as the ad process. We'll be going over a high level of defining your target audience, as well as identifying keywords so that you can find people who are interested in the topics you're trying to promote. Finding your voice, how you can use specific keywords to drive that traffic. And as well as search engine estimations, being able to see an overview of how much you're willing to put in for a budget, how you can track your results. And then the last things, most importantly, as we know, you can get as many leads as you want. You can talk to as many people as you'd like, but unless you do your part on following up and managing those leads, then you're not going to be as successful as you could be.
And before we go any farther, there's something we want to make sure that all of you understand. Kyle and I are the founders of How to Grow Dough, and this blog and company was created to help you grow a doTERRA business and to really make sure that the learning curve for being successful in doTERRA was as little as possible. And so we want you to understand our intentions. Our intentions are to open the door on skills that we have been using. We've been professional marketing for some time now and helping clients in the doTERRA market get new leads and see success in doTERRA. And so what we're going to do today is we're going to teach you the exact skills that we use. And so if you have another way that you prefer to use, that's absolutely okay. But the skills we're going to teach you have been proven. Many people are paying for them and they're getting the results that they pay for. So let's first start off. Let's take a look at the big picture. Oh yeah. Oh, one more note before I move on any farther. And this is my favorite slide to get to. I wanted to show the big picture. I couldn't help it. I had to put the picture of big on there. Throughout this webinar, we want to hear your questions, and we want to make sure that we're talking back and we're helping you in whatever way we can. So please send your messages in the little message box below, and I assure you we won't be able to answer all of your questions. Everyone who sends a question, we'll do our best trying to answer everybody's, but hopefully we can get to most of them, if not all of them. And if we don't get to yours, send us a message on Facebook, because we would love to communicate with you and get to know you a little more. So back to my favorite slide, right? All right, let's take a look at the big picture here. And the big picture with online advertising, especially in the doTERRA market, is not the hard sell. The big picture is attracting new people, getting contact information, starting an education process, and advancing those people to enrollment. There are some people who may disagree with me on this, but that's okay. What we teach is in doTERRA, we are not building an army of salespeople who can go out and sell oils like no one else. We're building an army of educators, people who know and use a fantastic product and want to share that fantastic product with the world. Well, that happens through an education process. So we're not going to teach you today how to sell a bottle of frankincense or a bottle of On Guard online. What we're going to teach you is how to create a relationship with new people and use that relationship in order to educate those people and advance them to enrollment and to growth on your team. So to take a look at that, here's kind of the big picture process. This is the process that we use. So we have people that, they go and they type in a Google search, and as they search for something, they're met with an advertisement on the top or on the side of their search bar. They click on that advertisement and it brings them to a landing page. That landing page gives them some brief education and they ask for more. They click a button to ask for more. And then at that point, we can continue the dialogue because in order to ask for more, they give us their contact information. And we continue the dialogue and we start the education process. So like it says at the bottom here, all of this leads to new enrollments.
And so what I would like to add is, I guess one of the main focuses of this webinar is trying to make these ads, if you will, seem like they're not ads. Like Jordan is trying to say is that we want to make sure that we're providing that value to people, creating some sort of relationship so that if they saw the ad by chance, they wouldn't say, oh, that's definitely an ad. They might look at it and say, hey, that's interesting. I'm interested in that because that's what I'm looking for, and they'll be able to click on it.
You may have seen our webinar on Facebook marketing, and we, over and over again, probably to the point that a few people back home were just trying to hit us through their computer screens. We talked about adding value and the importance of adding value. Well, here's the deal is I don't believe in ads that should be intruding into people's lives. I believe in enhancing people's lives. And what we want to do is teach you how you can create campaigns that others won't look at like an advertisement. They'll look at it as an opportunity to enhance their lives. And so that's what we're going to look at today. We're not going to look at the buy one, get one, or the flashy signs. What we're going to look at today is how to create exciting advertisements that can enhance your user's life to the extent that they don't even know that they are on an advertisement.
And so let's go on to the next part of online marketing. And something that we all need to understand is online marketing is a lot of work. It's not something that you can just throw something up there on the wall and hope that people find it interesting. There's a lot of thought that goes on behind creating these ads. Millions of dollars are spent every day. I'm sure Jordan could give you better numbers on advertisements. Companies will spend hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And that it's something consistent. It's not something that you can put out an ad or hopefully market to someone and then just see how it goes. It's something that you have to refine and look at these keywords and really take a look to see which are working best for you. And we'll talk more about those keywords here in a moment. It requires you to be dedicated. It's much more than being just techie. We hope that you don't see this in our thinking right now. Well, I don't have any computer skills. I'm not a Jordan or I'm not a Kyle. I'm not some marketing genius.
Jordan doesn't have any computer skills either. just Kyle has cool computer skills. Jordan just pretends to have computer skills.
And that's the thing is you don't have to be a marketing person. You don't have to be a technology person. These skills are just thinking about yourself, what you would like to see. Because there are a lot of people just like you who have the same questions and concerns and family problems or whatever it may be. And so it's trying to find those items that touch people and provide that value so that you can get to them and continue the dialogue.
I couldn't agree more. And so if you come away with anything today, know that this can be done by anyone. You don't have to be a professional marketer. I've worked in marketing for quite a while now, and I've studied it in university. But you don't need that. I know a lot of people in our field that are very successful without it. Kyle is advanced in his technical knowledge, but you do not need that. And so another thing we want you to understand, because you might think, okay, we got a couple of guys over here claiming to know a lot, but is this real or is this just fluffy? Well, you can make a lot of money if you practice the techniques that we're using. Of course, everyone's different, and marketing is not a science. It's not. It's an art, really. It's just a way of communicating and building relationships. But with the techniques that we're going to teach you today, we've made hundreds of thousands of dollars over the last few years. And so we want you to see that these things really work, and as you apply them, they really help. And so to start, we're going to give you a little look at a toolbox. Basically, these are a few of the tools that we use in order to grow our brand online. With that being said, little sidebar, I guess, you're not required to use any of these tools. And if you have another one that you think you're already involved with, or you think works better for your business, then absolutely take that. But what we want you to see is people have asked us a lot. There's been a lot of people wanting full disclosure, wanting transparency, and they want to see all the tools that we have used to see success. So what we're going to do first is we'll give you a look at some of these tools, and then we'll get more into that ad process.
And the first item we're going to talk about is tools that help you grow your email list. And there are a lot of these, but first, the idea of an email list. And we mentioned this briefly before in some of the other trainings that we've done. Some people will say the money's in the list, and they're referring to an email list, because the more contacts you have, the better chance you have of either selling your product or finding more potential leads. And that's true, but we're not trying to find just any people. We're trying to grow your email list with warm leads, people who are interested in your product. And so everything that we're going to be talking about today is targeted towards growing this email list and providing value to these people. And so the first item on the list is the emails equals education. A lot of people will create doTERRA newsletters or doTERRA email sequences that will send out to their leads or to their teammates. And doing this is very important.
And I want to make a point on this, because again, we are professional educators, right? And so you can just receive other contact information, right? Like a phone number, and you can call or you can text a person, but calling and texting doesn't have the ability to be duplicated like an email does. And so what an email allows you to do is auto respond while still being real, while still being friendly. It also allows you to an email also allows you to send it to multiple people at once. And so it really it not only simplifies your life, but it allows you to keep all the benefits of being in an education process while really simplifying the process of doing it. So Kyle talked about money in the list. Emails equal money. Every time we send out an email, we see sales. And why is that? Because we've been so focused on providing high value emails. And so we have a very few people who unsubscribe from our lists, because we are very, very careful in making sure that every email is filled with good content. Last but not least, I guess there's plenty. We could go on forever of all the benefits of an email list, but emails equal power. What does that mean? By growing an email list, you grow a brand and you have influence. You can influence people's decisions. You can influence sales of certain products. You can influence an uprise in people taking advantage of a certain doTERRA promotion, or you can influence, you'll be able to see your volume will fluctuate depending on the emails that you send out as you really grow and manage a living email list.
And that's exactly right. And you'll see here on the screen that we've included the tool that we use, which is called Aweber. And we've used many other tools before: MailChimp, iContact, Constant Contact, or just to name a few of these. And they were great. The reason that we go with Aweber is because it's one of the first in the industry to implement the autoresponder feature of an email. They have great deliverability rates, which means you don't have to worry about people's email clients rejecting your emails, because Aweber's done all the work behind the scenes to make sure that your emails get through to people.
And Kyle talked about, they were one of the first for that auto responding technology. It's just as simple as it sounds. Don't overthink it. It means automatically responding emails. And so, for example, if somebody clicked on an ad and then from that were led to a landing page that said learn more, and they clicked that learn more button and immediately received an email, that's because it was set up on some auto responding system. And so we like to use that simply because it makes our life easier. And so Aweber, it's an awesome, reliable company. So if you're interested, the link's below. I know that you can, their deal is you can start an account for only $1 in the first month. And so if it's about money, the price is definitely right. So.
And like Jordan said, you don't have to buy these tools. You can get by using Gmail and other things like that. But the benefits to Aweber is they've included analytics, so you can see how many people opened it. And there's so many features we could cover. But like we said, you don't have to buy it, but these are tools that we've seen success with.
Yeah, that's what a majority of the online marketers are using. And so that's, we just wanted to be cool. No, we really love the benefits. And so if you're interested in learning more about that, we'll absolutely send you in our follow-up email a link that talks about getting started with Aweber and how you can do it. So if you're interested in learning more, just stay tuned and keep your eyes open for our follow-up email. So now we're going to talk about landing pages, lead pages, and squeeze pages. So basically, all of these pages are the exact same thing. In essence, the idea with these pages are, it's not as robust as a website. It's just a page. And on that page, it gives you a little bit of information. Maybe it gives you a video. And it's kind of just like a little teaser of sorts. You can just you can just get a little taste of the information that they have. And then from that point, you can click to learn more. So here's a look. There's this one is, it's just one I found online. I just clicked on an ad. Most ads lead to some sort of landing page by some company called Pivot Share. So this is a nice looking one, but you have others that are much more simple. And here's a doTERRA focused one that's giving somebody an option to request a free sample. I think they had a video above this. But then you've got other ones that, and this one's just requesting contact information, as you can see.
And once again, just a note on this, I'm sure many of you have seen simple forms like this, but this is what we're talking about as far as capturing leads. So people use these forms, people will put their information, and it's providing value because the person who's requesting the free sample knows what they're going to get right up front. And the person who set up this lead page or landing page is in return getting their email address so that they can start to talk to them and create a relationship with them.
And you know what, like we talked about, it doesn't feel like an ad when you're getting something for free. It's just, let me know where I need to send this free sample, or let me know where I need to send this free video or free ebook or free webinar that I've created. It doesn't feel like an ad because so much value is being provided. Or there's some that just do the hard sell, sign up now or get started for $1. This is one from Aweber. And then you've got this one. So some of you may not have known it, but by getting on to this webinar, by registering for our webinar, you were led to a landing page. This gave you a little bit of information about what a webinar was going to be about, and then gave you the offer to enter your information in as a trade to reserve your spot on the webinar. So again, it doesn't feel like an advertisement, but it gives us an opportunity to gain contact information and to grow communication with a new audience.
Yeah. And one more thing we need to make very clear about landing pages and this webinar in general, because the title is using Google Ads to get more leads. And the thing that we want to stress is you can create as many ads as you want. You can go out and spend hundreds of dollars a day and upwards of that, and send traffic to whatever page you're wanting to gather information from. But if your landing page or whatever page you're sending this traffic to from these ads is not optimized to capture this information, then you're just going to be sending this traffic there for nothing. Basically, they might read some of your blog posts, or they might look at the page like this one, for example, and say, that's nice, but maybe it doesn't interest them. So, and it will happen. Some people will come to your pages and maybe won't have interest in doing that, but you just want to make sure that your landing pages are optimized so that people know what they're getting. They don't feel like they're giving up too much, but they feel like they're getting more in return. And so the optimization of your landing page is very crucial. So keep that in mind throughout this whole webinar.
So let's take a look now. Now we've talked a little bit about landing pages. So 2 tools we've spoken of: landing pages and an email service, Aweber, and specifics. So the purpose of landing pages is to get contact information, so then you can educate your audience. Sometimes it's to lead them to a paid resource. Sometimes it's to sell a product or service. The one that we're going to be focusing on tonight is, well, I guess we can teach, we're teaching the general skills that you could use for any of these. The one that we tend to focus on with our clients and with our personal advertisements is getting contact information in order to educate your audience through emails. If you'd rather work on the phone, you can absolutely get phone numbers, educate them in that way. But so that's a little bit what we're going to talk about. You might be asking yourself, like I probably would be asking myself and saying, Jordan, I was one of those non-techie people that you were speaking of earlier, and I have not the first clue on how to build or to get started with a landing page. And because of that, we've worked with our sister company, Jogo Marketing. You should see some information below. They are doing an offer right now to get landing pages for only $150. And so the reason why the deal is so low and it's so cheap is because a lot of people will then have Jogo Marketing manage those landing pages for them. So run the ads for them. But with the skills you're being taught tonight, you won't have to do that. You could manage them on your own. So if you're interested and you're not looking at wanting to build your own page, the information is below, and that's just another option for you. Help save some time, energy, and for some of you, probably some heartache. Heartache or headache, I guess.
Or both. And so now that we've established the foundation of things that we need to understand, we're going to now talk about the ad process. Because like we talked about, you can do this whole ad thing, set up ads and drive traffic to your site or your landing page. But now that we have that foundation in place, one thing we want to make very clear is you may look at a lot of these things we're about to present and think that it's a bit overwhelming, and it can be, but we're going to go as slow as we can, talk about it as much detail as we can, but we know that your time is very, very valuable. So thinking that through, we've created a video that we're going to send you in a follow-up email after this that has a video that explains this all and shows you how to do it step by step, because we didn't want to go through and have to type everything in and take time out of your precious night. So jumping right in, to create these Google ads, you're going to go to a website called Google AdWords, and it's adwords.com. .google.com, and it will take you to a page that looks just like this. It's their landing page. So it gives you the information you need. You can register. You just need a Gmail account. It's free to register. So won't show you how to register. It's very simple. But doing this, you need a Google AdWords account, and it takes just a few moments to do that.
And so with that, you have to have a Gmail account in order to set that up. But again, tonight we're going to try to go into great detail on the strategy and the steps of setting up an ad, and not the steps of setting up AdWords. So if you're sitting here and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't know the first thing how to get started with this, is all over my head, don't worry. Really what you should be focusing on during this webinar is understanding the tools, the techniques, and the strategy to help you be successful with the ads. As far as the steps go, you will have access to material that can cover these steps. So if your heart is worried, just settle down, and you're going to be just fine. So let's first take a look at once you log in. So once you log in, you're brought to this main page, which honestly, as someone who doesn't have a lot of experience with web applications, it can look pretty overwhelming. There are more buttons on this page than in some small countries. I'm sure it's a pretty incredible amount of buttons. But the only button that you need to see is highlighted in bright red. So if you're looking for a button, it's the one in red, and it's to start a campaign. And that's where you'll begin your advertising campaign.
And before going on real quick, we got a question. We'll answer most of the questions at the end, but Kimberly sent a question in and asked, will this be available to go back after and review? And yes, like we said, we'll send some information in a follow-up email so that you can check out the videos and do this on your own pace.
Absolutely. And like all of our webinars, they'll be accessible on the Grotto Business Partner. And so if you have already subscribed to the Grotto Business Partner, the webinars will be back there for your access.
And so jumping right into the main page, like Jordan said, we're going to just imagine that we're clicking on this red button right here in the middle of Create Campaign. And so once you do that, it's going to take you to a new page, and it's the Name Your Campaign page. And so a campaign is basically the folder that will house the ads that you create. So you'll create a campaign, and you can have multiple ads in there, or you can just have one. And so this campaign, over the next few slides, you're just defining the name, where you want it to show up, as well as a few other things that we'll discuss here in the next few slides. So
no one will see the name of your campaign except yourself. And
Yep.
So it can be called doTERRA Leads. Don't overthink it. It's very easy. You can call, but if you want to folder it by more specific regions or ad ideas, these are all my ads that are focused on digestion and improving your digestive system, then you can do that as well. So it can be as easy or as difficult as you want it to be.
And so the first step, as you can tell, is very simple. You don't have to touch a lot of this stuff. The only thing that I did on this screen, as you can see, is I named it doTERRA Leads Test. And so if you love that name, you are more than welcome to take it. But you have to send me a letter and say thank you.
He wants a quarter.
Yeah.
He wants a quarter for everyone who uses that name. Should have copyrighted it. All right, or trademarked it. So now these are the things that I like. So Kyle is so good at understanding these and helping make them simple. What I really like is talking about the people, because you're in the business of people. This is not only in helping people advance with their health goals or with their lifestyle goals, but also in helping those people that enroll to continue that advancement. There's no step in this process that you're not in the business of helping people improve, whether they've signed up or whether or not they haven't signed up yet. That's your focus. And so the first thing we need to do is know who we're talking to. So define your target audience. And I just put down a few different things I forgot to add education on here. We had talked about that, but define them by location. Where are these people that you're talking to? Interests, language, income, education, political views, favorite television shows, brands, what websites are they visiting? Just really take a look at who you're talking to. A common practice in advertising and in several companies that I've worked with is to create a person. And this person is, I guess, the personification of your target market. So you give them a name. Maybe look for a picture of a person that you think looks like who you're talking to. Think about their day, about their daily schedule. Think about their interests. As you personify this person, it really allows you to remember that this is not about the ad. This is not about the product. It's about the people that you're speaking to. So I recommend this practice. Kyle and I use it, and it gives us an opportunity to focus on the people that mean most to your business and mean most to your progression.
And it can be as simple as, a lot of times you'll find a lot of people are just like you with the same questions or concerns. You could pattern it after yourself, but a lot of times, like Jordan said, you'll need to think of other people, what they're interested in a lot of these topics here on the left-hand side. And so doing so will definitely help you in the next step that we're going to talk about, because you're actually going to choose specific areas that you want your, or locations where you want your ad to show up. And so up in the top left-hand, the little screenshot that we have is you scroll down the page, it's going to ask you the location where you want to set it. And there's a few choices here. You can target everywhere, all countries and territories, the US and Canada, just the US, or you can choose yourself. So if you're trying to target a specific city within the country, even if you don't live there, this is a huge benefit. So I've selected let me choose, and then as you type in the different cities, it will show you the potential reach, which is the population of that city. So as you can see, 10 million, 13 million people, that's awesome. And you can select people that way.
And you know what? Sometimes we're a little bit, I don't know, we're just given it makes us feel good to put down big cities, right? But that may not always be the best way. In marketing, you want to make sure that you rule in specifics. And so make sure you're very specific about the city that you're targeting. If you're wanting to grow a business in a specific area and you already have a team there, target the suburbs of the city and maybe not the main city itself, where you can still get a lot of traction, but you may not have as much competition. And so really be specific about who you want to talk to and where you want to talk to. So this covers the location and the language of these people. But what about all those other things that you were looking at? Well, those can really be taken advantage of in the keywords.
And the keywords, as you scroll down the page, is then going to ask you for a keyword per line, as we can see here. And this is the part we didn't want to take too much of your time for. We've already gone through and put in some example keywords if we were obviously trying to promote or help people find doTERRA essential oils. So as you read through the list here, you can see the sort of things that people might be searching for. So the keywords, what they basically are, is you're trying to target specific keywords or phrases that people might be typing into Google, a Google search. And so as people type in, for example, doTERRA essential oils, you have the opportunity to show up either in the Google results, or if it's on some sort of a website that people have opted to put in their ads, you have the opportunity, or your ad could show up there for the person to click on.
With that, we really didn't cover in this training, but Kyle, I think it would be smart that we added this onto our follow-up email as well. Kyle's done a training on how to find keywords and how to know what keywords are the most effective for the topic that you're talking about. And so you can kind of get a look at how many people are searching that phrase or that idea. And so we can include that on our follow-up email as well, so you can really be educated on this topic.
And like Jordan was talking about earlier about being more specific, the more definitive you are with keywords, Sure, it might limit the results that you may have because less people will be searching for something more specific like digestive health problems over digestive problems because it's more broad. But the benefit, like Jordan said, is that because you're trying to be more specific, you have the potential to be that expert in that field. And more people will see that, hey, I keep seeing this ad, or they have this website that's dedicated to this one thing.
Yeah, and really, because the smaller the term or the more common the term. So let's just take, for example, doTERRA. Okay, so doTERRA is going to be a pretty competitive market. There's going to be a lot of people placing ads on that keyword. But there's probably far less people that are putting an ad on a key phrase like, how can I use doTERRA to help my digestive issues? Or how can I use doTERRA essential oils? Or what's the best way to buy doTERRA essential oils? These phrases are longer, and maybe you'll only get 1 or 2 people who search that a day, maybe 5 people a day. But you can really command a presence on some of those longer phrases where you would have to spend a lot more money on some of the more competitive phrases, like maybe just doTERRA or just essential oils. Not meaning that you will not see results on those pages, but it's just going to cost more.
Yeah, and we're all about spending the least amount of money possible while getting the best results that we can. So we'll talk more about price here in a moment, because I'm sure that's a question many of you had. Well, how much is this going to cost? What we're trying to show you is that the more thought out this strategy is, the less money that you're going to spend while getting the most amount of clicks and potential customers.
So you're at a point where you've targeted who you want to talk to. It's now time to figure out what you'd like to say to them. And I meant to put a bigger image on here, but this will be okay. This can work. So as you can see, you're going to scroll down. So just to make it clear, this ad process, it's one continual page. You're not having to click next in between. You're just continuing to scroll down, and it'll be step by step by step in the way that we've broken it down for you. So the next step is to provide the content for your ad. So it's now your time to find your voice, to talk to the persona that you've created earlier. And so think of some questions. What are you offering? How does this benefit this person? Where will they go? And what will they see? And another thing you want to keep in your mind is it's just slipping my mind. A question just popped up on our screen, and I just forgot. Oh, and another question you want to keep in mind is this exciting? Would I be willing to click on it? Is this attention getting? So each line here only takes a certain amount of characters, and it appears on the side. So as you type in, it'll let you know how many characters you have left, and you'll have the ability to, it'll count down for you, and so you can keep mixing and matching until you've got the mix that works best for you. So if you look here, you may not have noticed this before, but you've got the headline. So as you type in the headline, it's the blue part of an ad. As you type in the display URL, that's the green part of the ad. And then you have description line 1 and 2, and that's the black part. That's at the bottom. Okay, so the display URL is what shows. So for example, myfakebusiness.com, and the destination URL is where this ad actually links to. And that's myfakelandingpage.com or whatever it may be. So as you look here, one of the most important things is getting someone's attention with the title. The title is in color, it's in bold, and you want it to be a powerful statement. And so something like try doTERRA for free, or free essential oils, or free wellness consult, or something that's going to get best information around, some sort of claim that is legal, but at the same time, it's getting the attention of potential viewers, of your target market, of that person that you've created. And then what you want to do is you want to use the description line 1 and 2 to take that headline and to really, make their mouth water. You want them to read more. And so, are you wanting to see why millions use doTERRA oils? Now you can try ... And so what we like to do, and this is not you probably won't read this in any ad book, but this is what we've seen success with. We like to save characters on the description line number 2 in order to end with a ... or a ... simply because it's in our nature when something is not finished to be curious and to want to read more. And so we give them something tasty like trying doTERRA for free, and then we don't finish the statement that we're going to tell them, so they will click and want to learn more. This is why Kyle talked about how important it is to have an effective landing page. This is when you really want to make sure that you have a professionally designed landing page, because you've done all this work to get a lead to your page. Now it's time for your page to close. And so there's a view at getting a voice. Okay. And of course, if you don't have a landing page, you could link to somewhere else. You could link to a Facebook page or to a blog or a website. We simply recommend landing pages because they bring the best results, really. That's why. And so now you've got this. You've picked your audience. You've defined them. You've given them your voice. Now it's time to get down to the pennies of it. How much is this thing going to cost?
The nitty gritty. So like we're talking about the price now. And before we get into the slide, once again, it doesn't have to be something super expensive. The benefit of creating a Google ad is that you can create a budget. And so you can tell Google Ads, okay, I only want to spend $2 a day or $5 a day, something that you can fit into your budget that you think is reasonable. Obviously, the more money you spend, the more potential that you have for clicks, because what happens is your ad will stay up as long as on Google's ad network, it'll stay up on the pages that people are searching as long as your budget hasn't been met for that day. So once your budget has been met for the day, it'll just come down. Google won't charge you anymore. And a lot of times you won't reach that max budget. There are many days that say you are saying, like on this image here, $5 a day. A lot of days you might only hit 2 or 3 because people may not have clicked on it. And so you'll see on this ad here, there you might see the acronym CPC, which stands for cost per click. And it is what it is. It's however many you're going to spend per click. So that could vary depending on the keyword that you've chosen.
Again, with that, another reason why, and I don't want to hammer this too hard, I just don't want you to waste your money. Another reason why it's important to have a good landing page, because you're paying per click. If somebody clicks through and you don't close them, you're paying for a low ROI or a low return on interest. Or return on investment. So you want to make sure that once you're able to get them to that page, that you're closing these people, that your 50 cents or 13 cents or whatever it may cost for that click wasn't spent on nothing, that it was spent on results.
Yeah, and you may think, 13% or 13 cents per click, that's nothing. And it's true. If you can get 13 cents per click, that's awesome, but it'll add up. Google does a good job at sending you traffic. So once again, like Jordan said, you need to do your homework and make sure that you have a good looking landing page. And so basically what this image is it's showing us an estimation of what you'll spend based on your budget, and down at the bottom, the cost per click per keyword that you've set. So it's all the numbers, all they are in the middle is just showing the average cost per click, 13 to 16 cents. The clicks per day, that's awesome. If you're going to be seeing 30 to 37 clicks a day off $5, that's awesome. Even if you closed 1% of those.
Hmm.
I mean, that's great. And so even 10%, that's even better. And so that's the benefit of your landing page and making sure that it will convert.
And with this, you might be asking, well, Jordan, Kyle, it's all good and well, but $5 a day is, you know, $150 a month,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't have an extra 150 to be investing every month. Well, we totally understand that, and what I really like about this slide is it teaches that high costs are not required to see results. First off, you're not required to continuously run these ads. You have the ability to activate them and to deactivate them at any time that you please. And so you're not building this monster that you cannot stop, okay? You won't have money just rolling out and not being able to control it. Another thing is we have a lot of campaigns that we do for as little as, you know, $1 or $2 a day, and that'll get you results. It may not be as high, but it does bring results, and it more than pays for itself with $1 or $2 a day. So I hope what this page shows you is, you know what, I don't need to invest a lot of money in order to see results with online advertising, with using Google Ads.
Exactly. And so this is basically the last section of creating an ad. Down underneath this image, it's basically saving your ad. And you may get rejected for a few of the words or keywords that you've chosen, which is okay. You just basically take that out and then resubmit. It takes just a few moments. And so once you submit the ad and save it, it'll take you the next page that you can then track your results.
And then a side note real quick before we move to the next page. Google does have terms of service and terms and conditions. And I'm sure that all of you would have read every word of that as you agreed to the terms and conditions.
We did.
And,
we read it all.
And starting your ads account. But we're not going to cover all the things that would or would not cause your account to be approved. So really take a look at that. If you read all the sections, read the parts on the rules and regulations with what ads can say, what they cannot say.
And if you submit, it may let you get through, and then maybe 20 minutes later, they may send you an email and say it's disapproved. It'll tell you in the email the problem, and so you just go in and change it. It's very simple. Google does a great job of letting you know. But yeah, do some research and check in the terms and conditions. So the last page, once you save your ad, it will take you to basically your admin view. And like Jordan said, this can look a little bit overwhelming, but basically the few items that you need to note are on the left-hand side in the gray, up in the top left-hand side, it's going to give you your campaigns, which are the doTERRA leads test and the other one I made earlier called doTERRA online leads. Those are your campaigns, and then the ads sit inside of those. And so you can see our Chicago ad is selected, and you can see our ad up at the top. Try doTERRA for free. It shows that it's enabled. And like Jordan said, you can, from a click of a button, you can pause it. You don't have to delete it. So, I mean, you can stop and start it with the click of a button. You don't have to approve, disapprove, and wait. And then since it isn't approved quite yet at this point, when I saved it, there's no real data coming through, but you'll be able to see how many people clicked per day, how many people actually viewed all your ads. Down towards the bottom, you'll see your keywords that we listed in there. And we received a question that I think this is a good point to answer it by Elizabeth. She asked, how many words do we need? And you can add basically as many as you want. They suggest starting out with 10 to 20, and then you can let it run for a few days. And then from there, in this table view, if we're looking at alternative medicine, it'll show you it. I guess the best keywords will start to find their way to the top that are getting the most clicks. It'll tell you how much you've spent on it so far. So then you can get an idea of your good ads. And then maybe from there, you can spend a little bit more on those and less on the keywords that aren't producing.
And because of these analytics, when you receive the email that you've received a new lead, you'll be able to see what ad that they came from as you see these analytics change. And so it'll help. It'll help you to be able to see what if not only which ones are getting the most clicks, but which ones you're able to continue educating these people with and continuing them in the doTERRA process. So now, Kyle talked about in the beginning, it's getting contacts is one thing, but being able to manage them and to progress them and follow up with them is an entirely different battle. And so Kyle and I set out to create a doTERRA tool that would help make this better. Working with clients, it was a huge problem. And as I worked as a doTERRA account manager, a lot of people had issues with managing their contacts and with keeping track of all of their new leads on from online advertising. So what we created was a tool called the Lead Manager, and it's just what it sounds like. It manages your leads. It gives you the ability to insert people into a hyper doTERRA focused client relations tool. And what makes this so much different than everywhere else on the market is it really is just focused on a doTERRA business, on helping people advance in their next steps, on their interest rating and their location and their group. And so you can have a whole group set up just for your online leads. And a big benefit is you can email them all at once from here, and you can keep communication through the Leads Manager. And so this tool, I'm not gonna take all your time and pitch the heck out of you with this, but this is what I would say is I can promise you that Lead Manager will increase your online conversion rate. It absolutely will. So if you're using this tool in conjunction with your online marketing strategies, you will see a better rate of conversion simply because of your increased organizational ability.
And I second that with the Lead Manager. If you do your job of following up with these people, because that's what the Lead Manager will do, is help you to remember to do that, you will grow your business. There's no doubt in that. And if you do it and then come back to us, let us know, and we'll give you your money back because we're that confident in it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And so here's another look is when you're in your Lead Manager, let's say you find Jackie Colley online, and you enter the information there, and you talk about having a doTERRA conversation. So you click that box. Well, then a pop-up's going to show up that looks like this. Would you like to, it'll say, would you like to have a reminder to continue the conversation with Jackie? And you can set this reminder and send you an email and send you a text. And so what it really does is it not only manages your contacts, but it manages the follow-up. It gives you the ability to not have to remember these things. And it was just, it was not long ago, we're getting messages on Facebook of all the people that this tool has really helped in their business. So we're confident with it. If you're interested, there's a link below. If you're not, no harm done. And so again, before we go to questions, here's a look at the big picture. You have people that search Google, they find your ad, they visit your professionally designed landing page, whether you do it or somebody else does it. Make sure that that landing page can close. Then they ask for more information because of all the value that you already gave them. And then you continue that dialogue with that person via email or over the phone. And again, all of this leads to new enrollments. Thank you so much for being with us. We're going to now answer a few of the questions that we've received. So if you have questions, feel free to send them in.
So the first one we have here is from Elizabeth, and she's asking, what is conversion? And that's a great question. We should have specified what we're talking as far as conversion. And what we mean by conversion, a lot of people will say conversion rate. And basically it's the rate in which people will come to your page and then you'll convert them into a lead. So that means that they take some sort of action to give you their information. So in the fact, or I guess the example of the lead page. So you create a lead page that's promoting some sort of promotion. Maybe you're giving a free sample out for a doTERRA product. And you set up an ad that drives someone to your site. So they click on your ad, it then redirects them to your landing page. On the landing page, they might read some information that you've provided saying doTERRA is the best product that I've ever used. It's helped me with this and that. And then there's a call to action button, whether that's they click on a button to provide information such as their email, or they fill out a simple form like we showed before. If they do that, you then converted into a lead. So your conversion rate, if that was the only person who came through and they provided their information, your conversion rate would be 100%. So that's what we mean by convert, is that you're actually, people are engaging with what you're providing.
We had another question here from Kristen asking if you had a website set up through Bluehost, will Jogo still help with the landing page? They absolutely will. We have a website, and we have several landing pages actually for different ideas and looking for different customers. Again, we have several people that we're trying to talk to. We have the personas that we're trying to talk to. And so we have a landing page for actually each idea or person that we're trying to talk to. So that yes, I guess is the answer to that. We have a question here from Gene saying, what am I advertising? If I don't have a website, am I just advertising my Facebook group? Or am I just trying to get their info to compile a list? What am I getting? Am I getting ahead of myself? Okay, so you and everybody else on here who's having, because I'm sure several people are wondering these same questions. If you don't have a website, don't worry. And for most of you, I wouldn't recommend having a website, simply because it does take maintenance. And unless you're willing to put in the work to maintain and to constantly update your content, it may not be the way to go for you. What I would recommend is everyone should have some sort of landing page. The landing page can be very simple, an introduction to doTERRA with an option to learn more. And that really gives you a chance to be communicating with more people and growing your warm market list. What I love about online advertising is I wake up each day with an email box full of new people that I've connected with somehow online while I've been sleeping. It works for you even when you're not working, whether you be sleeping or spending time with your family or friends or whatever you may be doing. So you're not getting ahead of yourself. What you are advertising is just an option to learn more. Whether that's to gain a free sample or a wellness consult or a book that you may have written or a webinar that you may have done, or even an online video. Say you've created an easy video and you put it up on YouTube and it's just about whatever, how to use lemon to clean your kitchen. You just say you could even have taken the video from your phone. It's no cost, no overhead. And I guess just a bottle of lemon is all it would cost. And you upload that onto YouTube. There are ways through Aweber or through other services, and if you wanted to do it manually, you could do it that way as well, that you could give somebody that video as a gift. Click here to receive a video on how to use lemon in your kitchen. As long as you're creating a valuable content, that is what you're really marketing. You're trying to create a new relationship, a new connection in order to grow your warm market.
Yeah. And the next question we have, it deals with that, and it's a great question. It says, when a prospect goes to your landing page and something free is offered to them, where is the free item or service stored for them to automatically get it? And that's a great question. And so Jordan covered that just a little bit. You have a few options of what you can do. So the first option would be, like he said, if you just have a lead page that maybe offers a free sample or a free video or a free ebook in the form of a PDF, what you could do is there are options in the lead page that you can just get their information when they submit it to your email. So say that email comes through and says, for example, we'll call this person Jane. Jane provides her information and her email and maybe her phone number, whatever information we'd like to get from her. You have the option, if you're doing it to your email just to manually send it back to her. Maybe you have a link to that YouTube video, or you attach the PDF and send it to her that way. You could, that way it allows you to send a more personalized email. However, we like to do it the automatic way. So we provide a nice formatted email that's personal to the person, and we use Aweber. So on our blog, if you have been there before and you requested maybe to be added to our email list, or maybe to get our free ebook that we talk about getting leads through Google Ads, that was delivered automatically to you. We didn't have to send that out because we knew that a lot of people have, thousands of people have asked for that ebook. So in exchange for their email, Aweber will use the autoresponder feature, which we've talked about, to automatically send a link or that file to the person.
And with the world we live in, the technology we have, this is not an email that is hello, sir or madam. It's not impersonal. It sounds like you sent the email just to them. Hey, Joe. Hey, Susie. Thank you so much for accessing my stuff. I see you were just on my website. Here's that thing you asked for, and I would love to talk more with you. And so that it just helps make life a little bit easier. And what's nice about Aweber is you pay as your list grows. And so it's very affordable as you have a small list, and it gets more expensive as your list grows. But as your list grows, so does your income. So Alan asked if we could show an example of a good landing page. That's a great question. You know what? Let's skip back on our slides here. And this is not to seem, I guess, cocky, but this is our registering for the webinar landing page. What's good about it is it gives a brief piece of information teaching about an idea. And so in this case, it's a free training. It builds up that training that the last webinar was sold out. So make sure that you save your spot. It will revolutionize the way that you grow your doTERRA business. It really uses some hard, strong claims, right? And then it gives you a call to action in more than one place. So you see the green arrow, register for the webinar, and then the blue button, register now. So what's nice about this, and it's also visually appealing. You've got a nice image on there. Other effective landing pages will have videos where the image is, and those can be really good, especially, and we would recommend with all the new videos that doTERRA has come out with and allowing you to share those videos on doTERRA University. That's right. Yeah. Where all those new videos are. You can have a great landing page about a certain product and have a great video, a professionally made video teaching about that product, and then a link to try their free sample of that product today. So it really, what you want to do is build a piece of education. So you educate them, and then you're wanting to prompt them to act. And usually in our case, we have them act by giving us their contact information in return for some sort of gift.
And the thing, like Jordan said, you want to make it easily accessible for the person to take action. And so when I look at this page, maybe it's just me being biased, but I look at this landing page here and my eye first goes to the image. I see what it's about, using Google Ads to get more leads. Okay, it goes down to register for the webinar, which then leads me to the right over to the blue button called register now. So once you see those three things, you say, okay, I know what this is about. I know I need to register, and then you'll take care of the necessary information from there, being able to select your date and input your information. So it's not overbearing. There's not text everywhere. It's very clean and balanced so that the person knows exactly what to do.
We've got a question here from Stephanie asking about content for the webinars, or for the newsletters, pardon me, and creating good content and newsletters. That absolutely is important. Like we've said over and over again, this is all about value and adding value to your readers. And so, yes, it's very important. Should you have a following before starting an AdSense campaign, which is having ads on your newsletter? That really is a matter of professional opinion. My thought is this: is if I've built up a following with the company that I'm with or with the client that I'm helping, I don't want to market other people's stuff on my newsletter because they may not be as good and as valuable in their marketing as I am. And so what would I do instead? I might put links down to things that they might be interested in, that may be affiliate links that you might get a little piece of money off. So I would stay away from AdSense for my newsletter. We absolutely can talk more about building great newsletters and creating good content on a continued basis, because that's really the challenge. We can talk more about that on Facebook. So I'll put a good Facebook post up and a blog post up tomorrow about creating good content for your newsletters and how you can do that.
And I'm sure many of you have seen this and are excited, but maybe think, well, how can I create a landing page? So we've talked about Jogo Marketing. They do a fantastic job. If you are wanting to build a landing page yourself or look at some YouTube videos on how you can do it yourself, you're welcome to do that. I'm a web developer, and so I know how to build these things, but a lot of times we'll just have Jogo do it because it's a lot simpler to have them do it and fast, because we all know that time is money. So we'll also be providing some more content and trainings here in the future about creating some landing pages and how you can do it, the different resources. But we just wanted to focus more on the aspect of using Google Ads to get people to where you want them to go.
Perfect. So you know what, we're probably going to stop there. But if you have more questions, please contact us on Facebook. We like to let you know that Jordan, answer all of the questions on Facebook, and Kyle answers all of the email questions for the most part, is how that goes for both of us. And so please communicate with us on Facebook. Look us up. It's How to Grow Dough. Dough is D-O, like doTERRA. And so we'd look forward to building a relationship with you and continuing our business and these trainings with you. So thank you so much for being with us.